In this video, we're gonna take a look at the top 10 ranged weapons in Minecraft dungeons. So further ado, let's begin. At the number 10 place, we have the twin bow as out of all of the ranged weapons, and we have the crossbows and the bows. Out of the bow, twin bow puts up its place at 10th number just by the fact you can just hit two multiple targets at the same time, as it has inbuilt bone shot enchantment and it has pretty good damage, like an average damage. So as for if you're looking for a starter ranged weapon you could rely on, this is the best weapon you could actually rely on. And to ask me, it is the best weapon to use just by the fact if you can just pull off any good enchantments like overcharge or something. This weapon just goes on for another level of the actual damage, and you can just hit two multiple targets at the same time. It works out really well just by the fact. So we're gonna go for at the 10th place as the twin bow. At number 9, we have the low spell bow, and as I just called out low spell bow to be the number 9th place, the best reason why I could use it on 9th place is just by the fact it has the ability to enrage mobs, which is just great at the situation where you cannot fight at the melee, but you need something to fight from your side with the other mobs, which can literally destroy you, or you cannot fight, you get it. So if you can just pull off a ricochet enchantment on this entire weapon, it can be such a banger weapon. So just using this weapon can be a really great use of its abilities too. So just by the fact of that, we're gonna go for this one, and let's get to the next one. Number 8, we have the Slayer Crossbow. Now, I know it deals way less damage in higher difficulties compared to the bows with better enchantments, but look at this, okay? You're playing this game and you do not have access to much powerful items, or I guess ranged weapons, just for an example. This weapon can be such a great way to deal insane amount of damage in less effort. Just imagine, it has the power to ricochet, plus it deals so much damage. Like, you can just take out a lot of mobs' health a lot faster, but at higher difficulty it doesn't make that much sense and stuff. But Doom Crossbow comes at the same place as the Slayer Crossbow, but Slayer Crossbow seems a better thing to use in my opinion. So just because of that reason, we're gonna be using the Slayer Crossbow at the number 8, and it is pretty great one, so I guess we're gonna rely on it. At number 7, we have the webbed bow. Now hear me out, it is a phenomenal weapon to use just by the fact you could hit 3 mobs at the same point and you freeze them, like slow them down on the impact of the arrow on them. Like, just imagine, it's such a defensive way to use this weapon. Like, when you use this weapon, this basically turns out to be a situation where you're playing really defensive, where you're just trying to stall the mobs while you can regain your health potion and destroy those mobs. In those kind of situations, this bow's gonna be a complete banger just by the fact it deals, like, when you attack with your webbed bow with overcharged critical hit enchantments like those from really near of the space to a mob, you can just deal such a huge amount of damage like it was nothing. Just imagine, and it has pretty great texture looking, it looks cool, so we're not gonna question that at all, and I think it deserves to be at the 7th place. At number 6, we have the Butterfly Crossbow. Now hear me out, Auto Crossbow better version is just basically the Butterfly Crossbow. Now look at this. If you don't believe me in the conclusion, you're just gonna go and watch my hardcore video where I literally melted a health of evoker like it was nothing, with an R accelerating auto, and it's variant. Okay, it's one of the variants. So basically, when you get accelerating enchantment on this weapon with critical hit or any kind of other enchantment, you basically melt down anything which comes on your way. Now, you don't believe me? Go to Minecraft Dungeons, open it right now, get yourself that weapon, no matter however you need to, and get these enchantments and go against the boss and just spam that thing. And look what happens. Like, that boss health would be going. Now, when it comes to using aggressive builds in Minecraft Dungeons, the best ranged weapon to use would be probably the burst Gale Crossbow. Now hear me out. What it basically does is when it's fully charged and you attack, when it hits the enemy, it pulls it backwards. Now if you're using something like Curse Stacks Fighter's Bindings, which has not that long range, but it deals insane amount of damage with the right things, of course. But when you're using anything like so, this thing can be a game changer, and even in the normal gameplay, it's just a great bow to use. That is, its damage is average, but with the good enchantments like Roll, getting yourself the multi-shot enchantment on the armor and using it on the Roll Charge enchantment on the bow, which can be basically the best build for this entire weapon. It's kind of a build base, but using this weapon can be just great when you're using an aggressive themed build or anything which makes you a lot more, like you're shortened. I'm not short, sorry. At number 4, we have the Bubble Buster Bow. Now hear me out. This weapon might not seem to be even deserving here, but trust me, it is a phenomenal ranged weapon when it comes to area control. Now look at yourself at the situation where you out-countered or outnumbered by mobs, and you just need to just get out or just stop few mobs from coming near you. You just charge your attack and boom, you just stopped. If you have bonus shot, you can go for more, or multi-shot, you can go for more of mobs getting captured in that bubble, which is basically advantage on you against the mobs, as you can just little stun. Now you don't even need the stunning enchantment or anything else like levitation enchantment or something. You just have that thing, and when it explodes, they're back to normal. But basically you just have a better way to just area control around the mobs in this entire game. And when it comes to this thing, this weapon is just that best thing to use. So now let's get to number 3. As we make it to the top 3. At number 3, we have the Soul Hunter Crossbow. Now this is the favorite crossbow of mine, or ranged weapon of mine in Minecraft Dungeons. Now look at this. If you can get yourself a good soul boost damage enchantment, even more better. But the main enchantment you need on this weapon is critical hit. Now once you have that, the damage you'll be watching yourself dealing against the mobs is just at the next level. Trust me or not, this is a crazy weapon to use in the situation. Like, it's not that much powerful against the bosses and stuff, but when it comes to the normal mobs, you can just drain their health down like it was nothing. So just because of that reason, we're putting the Soul Hunter Crossbow at the number 3. At number 2, we're gonna use the Pride of the Piglin Crossbow. Now, this crossbow is completely underrated in my vision. Like, whenever I see talking about Pride of the Piglins, no one cares about it. Do you know why? Because it has the fire. You can shoot 5 arrows at a time with it, okay? but those fire arrows can literally take out anything you could think of. Okay, and if you can just get yourself one of the harpoon quivers, the damage is insane. Even the bosses will melt. Anything you could think can melt at this point. But just look at this, okay? It's literal, like when it comes to deflect and thorns, you're just gonna get yourself killed. But we're not gonna put ourselves in that situation. But any situation different than that can be a complete, like, an advantage to the person using the Pride of the Piglins. Like, whenever you use it, it's just basically the good thing to use. So just because of that reason, I think we should use it. And yeah, let's get to the number 1. Many of you might already have guessed it, but yes, it is the one and only Harp Crossbow. Now, this crossbow is truly magnificent when it comes to everything. Area control, area damage, anomaly damage, and you know, just basically everything. You can stalk mobs, do anything with it. Main enchantments you should use on this will be probably multi-shot. If you can get multi-shot in any kinds of like scattered crossbow, harp crossbow, you're just gonna melt the bosses. But once you get that multi-shot, then basically the tempo theft can be the best enchantment to use when it comes to stalking the mobs or slowing down the mobs. You know, you could just use it as a speedrun gear too, like hitting a lot of mobs, stealing their speed and using the speedrun gear, and it's gonna be even more better. But this weapon has truly every single ability you would need to make it the best ranged weapon in Minecraft dungeons, like in the damage way, in the ammo way, everything you could ask for. It has everything. Just because of that reason, I'm gonna put the Harp Crossbow at the number 1 place. And that was the top 10 of the ranged weapons in Minecraft dungeons. So let me know what is your top 10 in Minecraft dungeons about the ranged weapons. And make sure hit that subscribe button with notifications on, as I put a lot of efforts into making these videos. And as appreciation, if you wish to, you could just subscribe and watch my other videos, as I know if you made it till here, the other videos of mine also won't disappoint you, so make sure you check it out. I know you will enjoy it, so make sure you check them out. And this is me, Prahant, signing out of this one.